Hello, hello friends. Another candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about White Sand Verbena from Homeworx. Full disclosure, this candle was sent to me from Homeworx. I am a Homeworx ambassador, so thank you very much, Homeworx, for sending this to me for review purposes. Just to clarify for all of you guys, Homeworx never tells us exactly how we are to review these candles or just, this isn't sponsored content. They just send this to us and say, hey, feel free to review this on your social media channels. So that is what I am doing. So this is their 4-wick, 18-ounce standard jar. Now you will see that the label on this is not my favorite. I honestly would prefer to have the full picture wraparound label, but I do know that some people like this aesthetic of the white band going around it. I will say that I think it still looks very pretty when the candle is lit here, especially that sand on here with the flames going behind it. I don't know, it's kind of pretty. The water actually almost looks like it's sparkling in this picture. So let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes of this candle. This is verbena flower, lemon zest, amber crystals, and sandalwood. Now, to my memory, I feel like I have seen this candle in years past. So I don't believe that this is an entirely new fragrance to the Homeworx lineup. However, this is the first time that I am trying it. And to be honest with you guys, I'm really happy that Homeworx sent this to me because I don't think that this is a fragrance that I would have necessarily probably taken a chance on. I think I would have probably just thought, oh, it's one of those like fresh, clean type of scents, which is honestly not really always typically a fragrance profile that I gravitate towards, because sometimes I think it could be a little bit too musky or cologne-y. What I am finding is that as I expand my nose a little bit more, I am finding that when I go outside of my comfort zone, I'm actually finding a lot of fragrances that I am surprisingly enjoying, this one being one of them. So what does my nose smell here? Well, I will tell you that this fragrance to me, you definitely get that verbena flower. Is it verbena? Verbena? I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. I do know that the verbena flower is a plant native to Europe and Asia. It has kind of a lemony scent to it. And I do smell it in here. Now, typically in the past, sometimes when I smell verbena, it's usually tied with like an herbal tea type of fragrance. It tends to be blended in with more spa-like type of fragrances. And this one to me, I really kind of like this twist on it because this is more so a verbena scent tied with like what I would describe as maybe like a cotton scent, even though that fragrance note is not listed in here. That is more what my nose smells. Now, I would not still smell this and think, oh, that smells like laundry detergent. If you caught my cardamom and cotton candle review, I told you in that one that smells like a very high-end, luxurious laundry type of fragrance. This one to me, while it's still, I guess I would categorize it as a quote-unquote laundry scent. And I never want people to think that when I say that I mean that in a demeaning way. I actually don't, but I just think that sometimes it's like saying that a fragrance smells masculine, or it smells cologne-y, or it smells gourmand. I think that sometimes categorizing something as like a fresh laundry scent, all of us can kind of grasp, okay, this is kind of the family that this fragrance would belong in, and I would say that. Now, that being said, I really, really like this, and I'm going to tell you guys, I am not somebody who typically likes quote-unquote laundry type of fragrances. I think what I like about this is I am noticing a pattern over some of the candles this year that I have really been liking. What I start to notice is that there is usually a fragrance note listed in there that seems to be common. And I'm noticing that a lot of these candles that I'm liking this year have the common fragrance note of sandalwood in there, which is funny. I never really thought that I liked it, but I do. I think that the sandalwood and the amber crystals in here, that whatever is making up those accords or that note, gives this candle a little bit of a nice base. It grounds it so that it's not overly herbal or spa-like to me. I really, really enjoy this one. It's doing quite well for me, actually. So that's leading into the performance here for me. So it's funny, if you caught the other review that I did earlier, the cardamom and cotton, I was talking about how I was having some issues with the wicks. And you know, sometimes that is relative to the pour date. Well, this candle also has a pour date of December 8th of 2022. So that other candle, I'm having some issues with puny wicks. The wicks are very thin, they're struggling to pull out. This candle, no issues at all. Now, I will tell you that the wicks on this one appear to be like those medium-sized wicks. They're not super thick, but they are thicker than the really thin ones that I have in the cardamom and cotton candle. This candle has had no issues pulling out for me. In fact, the first burn on this one, it completely pulled out within 40 minutes. The wicks do have a tendency to get a little bit long, so I would say that you don't want to burn this candle any longer than maybe 3 hours. And not that the wicks, they're not falling over, they're not developing huge carbon balls, but I do notice that they are starting to get a little bit long. I will just slightly trim them if there's any little excess carbon on the end. And even then, you guys, it's not like huge carbon balls, it's just like a little bit of carbon. I will trim that off, let it cool, let it cool, trim that off, and then I can go ahead and relight it. This one is doing very well for me. It does not need the assistance of a hurricane to increase the strength and throw or to get it to pull out. The wax pool is remaining very clean. It's burning cleanly for me. This one has been a real winner for me, and I'm actually contemplating picking up another one of these because it is pairing along quite nicely with that cardamom and cotton scent. It just gives my house like a very clean feel to it without it being like house cleaner clean. I don't even know how to describe that, and I hope that that's coming across correctly, but really liking it. I would say the strength and throw of this one is a good solid 7 for me. So it's on the border of like it's like a medium high strength and throw for me. I have been burning it in my living room. I will tell you that when I burned it in my bedroom, because that's typically, I will burn candles in both of those areas because my living room is high ceilings. My house is about a 1,700 square foot ranch style, and while the bedrooms are more closed concept, the living room has high ceilings and it's the most open room in my household. So I like to burn candles in both of those rooms so that way I can kind of gauge the strength and throw. I will tell you that when I burned this one in my master bedroom, I will caution you that if you are somebody that is maybe a little bit more headache prone, like fragrances sometimes can give you a headache, I would kind of put up a little bit of a red flag on this one, because even though it didn't give me a headache, I smelled it and I was like, I think this one might like borderline, like that it possibly could. And then I posted just kind of my initial cold sniff thoughts about these candles on the Homeworx Facebook group. And I did have somebody else in their comment and say that while she had liked this fragrance, it did give her a migraine. So I do want to just kind of put that out there for all of you guys in case that is something that either you or somebody in your household would be concerned about. Overall, though, I am going to say that this candle gets 2 thumbs up for me. Like I said, it's sitting in my cart right now. I do have an ambassador code with them that is an affiliate link, so I do get a small commission on that, and it does support my channel. You are free to use it, and there's no hard feelings if you don't want to use it, but that code will save you an additional 10% off of any orders over $40. Really like this fragrance. I think it's a nice change up in the summertime. It's still nice and fresh, but it's not fruity cocktail. I know that it says yeah, in there like lemon zest. This is not an overly lemony fragrance to me. It's definitely one that's balanced out. It's that verbena note, that kind of little bit floral balanced out with that amber and sandalwood. It's a very nice, fresh fragrance. So let me know in the comment box down below, have you had this candle before? Is it currently in your collection? Is it one that you've had your eye on? I would like to know. Also, feel free to always chime in with what your experiences have been with candles. I am always the person that will tell you I am one person in this community. I have a lot of other wonderful content creators here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and even a lot of people in the Facebook group. Even they don't have social media channels, but they're always giving input about how candles are performing for them. I always encourage you to look up various reviews before making a purchase, because what one person smells might be, somebody else might have a completely different experience. So feel free to chime in the comment box down below. Just, I always ask that you keep it respectful of me and other people within our community. But if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Katie. I like to talk about home fragrance and sprinkle in a little bit of beauty. I do reviews, hauls, empties. So if that kind of content sounds appealing to you, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. I just want to say thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. And until my next video, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.